The Islamic view of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection is a topic of great interest and controversy among Christians and Muslims alike. While Christianity teaches that Jesus was crucified and resurrected from the dead, Islamic beliefs are quite different. According to Islamic tradition, Jesus was not crucified, but rather, he was raised up to heaven by Allah. The Islamic view of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection is based on several verses in the Quran that speak of Jesus' life and ministry. According to these verses, Jesus was a prophet and messenger of Allah who performed many miracles, including healing the sick, raising the dead, and speaking as an infant. However, the Quran also teaches that Jesus was not crucified, but rather, Allah made it appear to the Romans that Jesus was crucified. This view is supported by several verses in the Quran, including Surah Al-Nisa, 4-157-158, which states, "And, for their saying, indeed, we have killed the Messiah, Jesus, the son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. And they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but another was made to resemble him to them. And indeed, those who differ over it are in doubt about it. They have no knowledge of it except the following of assumption. And they did not kill him, for certain." The Islamic view of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection has several implications for Islamic theology and philosophy. For one, it emphasizes the power and sovereignty of Allah, who was able to save Jesus from the hands of his enemies. Additionally, it underscores the importance of faith and belief in Allah, as it was only through Allah's intervention that Jesus was saved. Despite the controversy surrounding the Islamic view of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, it is important to note that Muslims hold Jesus in high regard as a prophet and messenger of Allah. Muslims believe that Jesus will play a key role in Islamic eschatology, or the end times, and that he will return to earth to defeat the Antichrist and establish a just and peaceful society. In conclusion, the Islamic view of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection is a unique and important aspect of Islamic theology and philosophy. While it differs from the Christian view, it underscores the importance of faith and belief in Allah and emphasizes the power and sovereignty of Allah. The Quranic verses related to Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection have been a source of controversy and debate between Muslims and Christians for centuries. While Christians believe in the physical crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus, Muslims have a different understanding of these events. According to Islamic belief, Jesus was not crucified but was instead raised up to heaven by God before the crucifixion could take place. This belief is based on several Quranic verses, including Surah An-Nisa verse 157, which states that Jesus was not crucified but was made to appear to his enemies. Muslim scholars interpret this verse to mean that someone else was made to resemble Jesus and was crucified in his place. Some scholars believe that it was Judas Iscariot who was crucified, while others believe that it was someone else altogether. Another Quranic verse that is often cited in relation to Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection is Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 117, which states that Jesus told his followers to worship God alone, and that he was a witness to their actions until his death. Muslim scholars interpret this verse to mean that Jesus did not die on the cross but was instead taken up to heaven by God. Muslims also believe in the resurrection of Jesus, although their understanding of this event differs from that of Christians. According to Islamic belief, Jesus will return to earth before the end of time as a sign of the coming of the Day of Judgment. In conclusion, the Quranic verses related to Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection offer a unique perspective on these events that differs from the traditional Christian understanding. While there may be differences between the two faiths on this topic, it is important to approach these differences with respect and understanding. The crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ are central tenets of Christian belief. However, The Islamic perspective on these events is somewhat different. While Muslims acknowledge Jesus as a prophet and messenger of God, they do not believe that he was crucified in the way that Christians believe. According to Islamic teachings, Jesus was not crucified on the cross. Instead, it is believed that someone else was made to look like Jesus and was crucified in his place. This person was not the true Jesus, but rather a lookalike who was made to appear as Jesus in order to deceive the people. The Quran states that Jesus was not crucified, but rather was taken up to heaven by God. This event, known as the Ascension, is an important part of Islamic eschatology and is believed to have occurred after Jesus had completed his mission on earth. The Islamic perspective on the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus is different from the Christian perspective, but it is not meant to deny or diminish the importance of these events. Rather, it is a different interpretation based on the teachings of Islam. Muslims believe that Jesus was a prophet and messenger of God, and that he performed many miracles during his time on earth. These miracles, which are also mentioned in the Quran, include healing the sick, raising the dead, and creating birds from clay. The Islamic view of Jesus as a prophet and messenger is different from the Christian view in that Muslims do not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. Rather, he is seen as a human being who was chosen by God to deliver a message to the people. Despite these differences, there are also similarities between the Islamic and Christian perspectives on Jesus. Both religions view Jesus as a figure of great importance and recognize the impact that he had on the world. In conclusion, while the Islamic perspective on Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection may differ from the Christian perspective, both religions share a deep respect for Jesus and his teachings. It is important for Christians to understand the Islamic perspective on these events, and to recognize the similarities and differences between the two religions.